Isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed.
Michael Irvin just exploded on live TV, and Rex Ryan, man, he picked the absolute worst day to come at Shedeur Sanders. 1 second, Rex was doing his usual expert analysis thing, talking like the king of football takes, and the next,
and saying the things he said. He's not in those meeting rooms. He doesn't know if Shedeur's sitting on the front row or not. If he said, I got sources saying this kid don't study, this kid's in the back of the room acting, then you say something. You say something. But don't just say those things because you want to sound bite and you want to go viral and talk about what this kid's not doing. I mean, Rex, you alive.
Irvin was handing him his pride on a platter. This wasn't a debate. It was a straight-up verbal beatdown. But what did Rex even say to make Irvin go off like that? You won't believe it. This one gets wild. So picture this. Rex wakes up thinking it's just another chill studio day. Coffee in hand, cameras rolling, ready to throw a few hot takes around like always. He had no clue that he was about to walk straight into a word war with Michael Irvin, the kind of guy who doesn't just argue, he destroys. By the time Irvin was done, Rex looked like a rookie who tried to tackle a freight train. It all kicked off when a clip of Shedeur Sanders hit social media. Smooth, confident, and unbothered. The kid just pulled off another clutch play, then hit that viral I'm built different mime move. Slow, cocky, cold.
I'm baffled. If he said anything else, we would jump on it and be all over him like, well, how come you don't have any confidence? That's why you're not playing. So each man, every man that's not on the football field, every man in the National Football League has to believe that he is good enough to play in the National Football League, to even be in the league. So anything else that comes from him, I would be shocked. Anything outside of, yes, I'm looking around, I'm seeing, and absolutely.
No touchdown dance, no handshake, just pure swagger. You could almost feel the internet light up like fireworks. Half the fans went crazy cheering, saying it was confidence at its finest. The other half, they acted like Shedeur had just spit on football tradition. And that's when Rex Ryan decided to play hero of the old guard. He looked straight into the camera with that back in my day face and started preaching, talking about humility, respect, and the right way to act after making a big play. Like seriously, Rex thought the world needed a lecture on how to celebrate. That's when Irvin's patience finally snapped, because if anyone knows swagger mixed with substance, it's the playmaker himself. Things were about to get heated, and Rex had no idea what storm he just called down. Then came Michael Irvin, and the moment he heard Rex Ryan talking like that, man, it was over. Something in him snapped like a veteran linebacker hearing a rookie call his nickname cute. Irvin didn't just disagree, he erupted. This wasn't a casual rebuttal. It was a televised demolition. Flames, fury, and that signature Irvin fire that could light up the whole AT&T Stadium scoreboard. Because to Irvin, Shedeur Sanders isn't just some quarterback. He's the new pulse of swagger in college football. Shedeur's not just playing the game, he's redefining it. He's Deion's son through and through, half highlight reel, half headline, and all attitude. Irvin didn't hear Rex's comments as some old school critique. No, he took them as a full-on attack on the entire idea that young stars should be proud, loud, and unapologetic. And that's when the storm started brewing. Rex Ryan, bless his soul, tried to fight back. He pulled out the old dusty playbook of cliches, preaching about respect for the game, discipline, and doing things the right way. But Irvin wasn't here for bedtime stories. He flipped the switch and turned into the football version of a Sunday preacher in full sermon mode.
I don't know what made you have a change of heart. Could it be that the whole world called you out because you lied?
Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows.
And then now all of a sudden, you want to see him on the field. And he has so much talent. And he's being treated so unfairly. And the locker room is toxic. And no one knows what they're doing on the Browns. Just a week ago, he was a bratty kid that just had his arms folded and was just like, I should be playing. I wonder why everybody is switching up so much. Could it be Dylan Gabriel's not there?
Voice booming, energy electric, passion overflowing. Rex tried to yell over him. Big mistake. That's like trying to outdance Usher in flip-flops. It's just not happening. Every time Rex opened his mouth, Irvin came back swinging with 10 times more volume, 10 times more conviction, and somehow 10 times more logic. It was chaos, but purposeful chaos. Every word hit harder, every line sharper. You could feel the studio heat up like a playoff sideline because Irvin wasn't just talking, he was testifying. Here's the real twist. Michael Irvin wasn't just defending Shedeur Sanders for show, he was defending a whole generation. He was standing up for every young player bold enough to bring personality into a league that still acts like celebrating is some kind of felony. Because let's be real, football's always had that double standard. When Tom Brady screams, pounds his chest, and yells at teammates, it's called leadership. But when Shedeur Sanders points to his wrist or hits that "I'm built different" move, suddenly it's arrogance. Please, Irvin saw straight through that hypocrisy and wasn't about to let it slide. To him, this wasn't about one play or one dance, it was about respect. He saw a young man carrying not just a football, but a family legacy, a name that means something. Shedeur's confidence isn't cockiness, it's DNA. It's the product of being raised by Deion Sanders himself, a man who taught the world how to shine without apology.
With Rex Ryan, after what he said about Shedeur Sanders, he is in no position to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Okay, Rex Ryan has now had multiple chances to be successful in the NFL, and he blew it. He should have been in the film room longer. He is the laughingstock. Okay, when he was with the New York Jets, his entire career was marked by the butt fumble. And then he comes with the Bills, he comes in, says he's gonna win the Super Bowl, tries to get the entire city behind him, and he absolutely flopped on his face. Rex Ryan, you are a clown. Shedeur Sanders is a better man than you, so don't ever talk about him again.
Every word out of Irvin's mouth hit like a linebacker blitz. Every line screamed, I played this game, you just talk about it. The studio went silent because Irvin wasn't debating anymore. He was educating. And then came the knockout moment, the verbal uppercut. He dropped the truth that ended it all. Confidence isn't disrespect, it's fuel. Boom. You could almost hear jaws hitting the floor. He reminded everyone that confidence is what separates legends from the rest. Shedeur doesn't have to act like he's been there before. He was raised there. The Sanders family doesn't just visit the end zone, they built their empire in it. And the internet, oh, it exploded. Within minutes, Irvin's rant went viral. Clips flooding every timeline, memes flying, fans cheering like it was a championship parade. People were posting, Irvin ended Rex's career with one segment. Others were tagging Rex, begging him to log off and take the L. It was pure digital chaos, glorious, hilarious, and real. But under all the jokes, one truth burned through like fire. Swagger isn't disrespect, it's legacy. Michael Irvin wasn't just defending Shedeur Sanders, he was standing up for the evolution of the game itself. Because football, especially the NFL, has always thrived on personality. Swagger, confidence, energy, that's the heartbeat of the sport. And here's the wild part.
Got aware when I did the homework on him a long time ago though, and because he was always loud as the Jets coach. And he's always predicted that they was gonna go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Every year, this is the year we're gonna do it. This is the year we're gonna do it. This is the year we're gonna do it. And you just brought that up, Mike, in your take. Nigga, you loud, Rex. As a coach, you're loud as a coach, and especially as a commentator, you're very loud and you take bold takes. So when Mace asks, was it clout chasing? I don't think it's clout chasing.
This was coming from Rex Ryan. The same man who built his entire career on fiery speeches, chest-thumping sideline antics, and let's be honest, more than a few chaotic media moments. The irony was so thick, it could light up the whole stadium jumbotron. It's like a rock star suddenly complaining that someone's playing too loud. Rex was preaching about calm professionalism, but his whole coaching legacy was pure adrenaline and emotion. And Irvin? Oh, he wasn't letting that slide for a second. He exposed that contradiction with the precision of a surgeon and the passion of a hype man on a championship parade. Every word was a shot of caffeine straight to the heart of football culture. By the time Irvin wrapped up his tirade, Rex looked shook, like he needed a timeout, a Gatorade, and maybe a deep breathing exercise. You could almost see his brain buffering in real time, trying to figure out how his simple, act like you've been there before, take turned into a full-blown motivational TED Talk mixed with a locker room revival sermon. But Irvin wasn't finished. Oh no, he was just getting started. He turned the heat up even higher, reminding everyone that Shedeur Sanders isn't just any player. He's under more pressure than half the veterans in the league. Every throw, every celebration, every single tweet becomes a headline. That's the weight of carrying a legacy built by Primetime himself. So if miming a watch helps him stay locked in, celebrate his wins, or block out the endless noise, then let the man mime, because that's what makes Shedeur special. He's not just playing the game, he's shaping the culture.
But you never brought home a ring. I mean, we can all say, get your ass up front and go get one of the rings. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't do that. So come on, man. That's what I have a problem with. I never heard him say, listen, I got great sources inside that organization that says he's sitting at the back of the room, he's playing around, and then he comes out here and crosses his hand and say he should play quarterback. Then you got something. You got something. But to say that without saying I got great sources means that's just your thought of what's going on. There's no fact in it whatsoever. And that's the issue.
So, Mike, this football conversation is a little bit above me at this point because you and Rex have done it.
Every snap is a message. Every celebration, a statement. He's not just Deion's son. He's building his own mythology, one confident move at a time. Michael Irvin wasn't just defending Shedeur Sanders. He was standing up for the evolution of football itself. The NFL has always been built on big personalities, bold energy, and players who bring flair to the field. That's what fans love. That's what fills stadiums. And here's the kicker. Rex Ryan, the guy complaining about swagger, is the same dude who used to make headlines for his wild sidelines, fiery rants, and let's just say, some very creative media moments. The irony? It could power the entire Jumbotron at AT&T Stadium. It's like a rock star calling someone out for being too loud. Rex kept talking about calm professionalism and acting right, when his whole coaching career was based on chaos, energy, and emotion. Michael Irvin caught that contradiction instantly and didn't just call it out. He torched it with that unstoppable Irvin passion. He did what only Irvin can do, turn logic into entertainment and truth into fireworks. By the time Irvin wrapped up his first rant, Rex looked like he needed a timeout, a therapist, and a fresh script. You could practically see the confusion written all over his face, his brain buffering like an old YouTube video, trying to figure out how his simple comment about respect for the game turned into a live motivational TED Talk mixed with a Sunday locker room revival. But Irvin wasn't done yet. Oh no, he was just warming up. He doubled down, reminding everyone that Shedeur Sanders is playing under more pressure than most veterans could ever handle. Every move, every celebration, every tweet, it all turns into a headline. That's what happens when you carry not just a team, but a legacy. The man was born into a spotlight that never turns off. So, if miming a watch helps him stay locked in, focus, or tune out the noise, then let him mime that watch with pride.
Responding to something that Rex Ryan would say on ESPN. That's something Deion would do. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I buy it. That's what they do.
It's something Shedeur would do.
Yes. And, remaining the third string QB, I mean, maybe the best thing he could do is not say anything, but still be a part of the headline.
So I love this from Shedeur. Okay, I have no problem. I think Cleveland Brown, Shedeur Sanders, has not really been annoying to me or anything. I think that was fun. That was funny.
Because that's what makes Shedeur different. He's not just chasing stats, he's performing for the culture. Every snap is a statement, every touchdown a message. He's not just Deion's son, he's his own story in motion. He's crafting his own mythology, one confident move at a time. And Irvin, he felt that. He got it on a soul level. Some people in the studio looked entertained, others straight up terrified, and one poor camera guy probably prayed the mic wouldn't explode from Irvin's volume. When Irvin gets going, it's no longer an argument. It's a show, a motivational concert in shoulder pads. You don't just listen to Michael Irvin, you experience him. Meanwhile, the internet was having the time of its life. Fans clipped every fiery second of Michael Irvin's rant and turned it into pure gold, captioning it with lines like, "Irvin preaching the gospel," and "Rex never stood a chance." It was chaos, comedy, and culture all at once. And the best part? Shedeur Sanders didn't even need to say a single word. Irvin had already fought that battle for him and won in spectacular fashion. That's what made this whole situation so powerful. Irvin didn't see Shedeur getting criticized for some bad behavior. He saw him getting attacked for having personality, and that didn't sit right with him for a second. So like a big brother with a bullhorn, Irvin jumped in swinging, ready to remind the world that football evolves and swagger is part of the story. The legends of old, they built the foundation, no doubt, but it's the new wave, the Shedeur S, the young guns with confidence and style that keep fans locked to their screens. Because without that flash, that energy, that attitude, football turns into background noise. And the irony?
There was a question that was asked of him. So if he had called a press conference, out of the blue and stood up there and said, "I'm calling this press conference because I've seen quarterback play in the NFL and I'm better than them." Now that's a different thing. You see what I'm saying? That's a different thing. Oh, you called a press conference to do that? Then we're saying something. But he's answering questions. And if he doesn't answer the question, you think you're too good to answer questions. I'm over that, man.
How else could he have answered that question, though?
Rex Ryan preaching about humility is wild, considering his own coaching career looked more like a full-blown reality show than a masterclass in modesty. Irvin's passion that day wasn't fake. It was real. You could see it bursting out of him, raw, unfiltered, and electric. It wasn't some scripted TV debate. It was a genuine explosion from a man who lived this game and knows what it takes to keep that fire alive. His face showed it all. Pride, defiance, entertainment, and a little bit of "I told you so" energy. And honestly, who could blame him for going full gladiator mode? Irvin's been through it. He spent years being misunderstood by that same old school mindset that now judges Shedeur. So when he saw history repeating itself, he wasn't about to sit quietly. To him, this wasn't about one celebration. It was about freedom. The freedom to express greatness without being told to tone it down just to make others comfortable.
A lot of people in power didn't like it. Rex Ryan just said out loud what folks has been thinking. Rex Ryan is a paid employee. Shows are scripted. So somebody wrote that down and told him to say it. Do you think Shedeur Sanders' confidence is still hurting him? Or is the league just being too sensitive?
He said mostly all the right things since he's been in Cleveland. Here would be my question. When Rex Ryan says, "Get your ass in the front row and shut up," and if I know the entire league knows...
After Irvin's explosion, you could almost feel the collective sigh of relief from fans everywhere who've been fed up with the "no fun allowed" crowd. Finally, someone said it loud and clear: let the players be themselves. Because in today's sports world, personality isn't the problem, it's the pulse. And without it, the game just isn't alive. Kids today don't just memorize stats, they copy the moments. They mimic the celebrations, the poses, the energy. They follow swagger, not strategy sheets. And Michael Irvin, he gets that better than anyone. He knows charisma is what builds connection. It's what turns players into icons and highlights into history. That's the part Rex Ryan completely missed while preaching his old school sermon. By the next morning, the internet had officially crowned a winner. Clips of Irvin's fiery rant were everywhere. The hashtags were wild, the edits were cinematic, and the memes were ruthless. Deep down, everyone knew Rex got cooked. Irvin didn't just win the debate, he turned it into a movement. Now, whenever someone criticizes Shedeur Sanders for celebrating, fans online drop a new phrase: pull a Michael Irvin. Translation: go off, defend the energy. Preach the gospel of confidence with your whole chest. And here's the twist that no one saw coming. The whole thing made Shedeur's brand explode. What started as criticism turned into the best free marketing campaign of his career.
You wouldn't be out here hating for clicks now, Rex, would you? Please tell me it ain't so, Rex. Because I would hate, you used to be a nice defensive mind. You used to be one of those defensive coordinators players love to play for.
The more people argued about his miming celebration, the more his name spread across every timeline. He went from controversial to cultural. Suddenly, the same move that sparked outrage became a symbol of confidence, coolness, and control. Even former players started chiming in, most of them taking Irvin's side. They were hyped, saying they love the fire and confidence the young Sanders brings to the field. They see what Rex can't, that this new generation isn't disrespecting football, they're redefining how it's celebrated. It's not arrogance, it's artistry. And Irvin made that point loud and clear with every dramatic hand swing, every intense pause, and every chest-thumping declaration that sounded like it should have ended with a fireworks show lighting up the sky. What made Irvin's rant legendary wasn't just the volume, it was the truth behind it. He didn't just entertain, he enlightened. He made people laugh, he made them nod, and he made them think, all while completely dismantling Rex's weak argument in real time. Even folks who initially agreed with Rex had to admit Irvin was right. Confidence isn't a distraction, it's a weapon. Swagger doesn't kill focus, it fuels it. And that's exactly what Shedeur Sanders embodies every time he steps on that field. Every move, every celebration, every gesture, it's not just hype, it's crafted confidence. The kind that doesn't fade when the lights go out. It creates the spotlight. He knows the spotlight's on him, and instead of shrinking from it, he owns it. That's what Michael Irvin was defending all along. Not arrogance, but ownership. Confidence that doesn't apologize. Energy that doesn't hide. Rex Ryan might not understand it right now, but one day he'll look back and realize Irvin wasn't just yelling. He was protecting something bigger. He was guarding the spark that keeps football alive. Because let's be honest, nobody tunes in for quiet quarterbacks who act like emotionless robots. Fans live for the fire, the flash, the drama, the moments that make you stop scrolling and replay it 1,000 times. That's what Shedeur Sanders brings every single time he steps on the field. Irvin gets that, and maybe deep down, even Rex does too, though he'd never admit it with a mic in front of him. The best part? Irvin didn't just defend Shedeur, he reminded the entire league of what football really is. It's entertainment, it's passion on display, and if players can't show a little heat, a little pride, then what's even the point? Irvin turned that debate into a rally cry for the soul of the sport. Loud, proud, and unapologetically electric.
That been in the locker room. He's been a coach, he's been a player, he's been in the locker room. So he knows better. He knows better. He knows that confidence breeds confidence, especially with quarterbacks. He knows, being in the NFL, that you have men that pay their bills, put their life and body on the line.
As the argument kept echoing across the internet, one thing became crystal clear. Rex Ryan might have started the conversation, but Michael Irvin finished it, with style, volume, and enough charisma to power a city grid. Meanwhile, Shedeur is probably somewhere laughing, cooking up his next viral touchdown celebration, while the rest of the world keeps debating what confidence really looks like. Because here's the truth. Swagger isn't a problem, it's the product. That's what people come to see. Irvin didn't just win that debate, he redefined defense. The real game that day wasn't on the field, it was in that studio. And Irvin walked out with the ultimate W. His words hit harder than any tackle. Bold, honest, unforgettable. So now whenever someone tells Shedeur Sanders to calm down, the internet's got the perfect comeback. Tell it to Irvin, because when the playmaker steps in your corner, it's not just protection, it's prophecy. And maybe that's the funniest twist of it all. Rex Ryan wanted to lecture about discipline, but he accidentally handed Michael Irvin a national platform to drop a masterclass in passion. He tried to control the narrative, but Irvin flipped it, owned it, and turned it into football history with a mic, a message, and more heart than the whole stadium combined. He knows the spotlight's on him, and instead of backing down, he glows in it. That's what Michael Irvin was fighting for. Not arrogance, but ownership. The kind of confidence that says, I belong here, even when the world's trying to tone you down. Rex Ryan might not see it yet, but one day he'll realize Irvin wasn't just shouting for show. He was protecting the flame that keeps football exciting, unpredictable, and alive. Because let's be real, nobody tunes in to watch emotionless quarterbacks act like robots reading playbooks. We show up for fire.
Chill. I know you know football. Not challenging the fact if you know the game, obviously you coach the game. Not challenging that, but your ideology is way off base on this one. You saying that like you did every day at practice. You saying that like you know firsthand that he's not sitting up front, that he's not doing what it takes, that he's not staying after practice, that he's not pulling up before practice. You're saying that like you in the know in all of this. You're saying that like...
For the moments that make us argue, laugh, rewind, and watch again. That's the beauty of Shedeur Sanders. He gives us those moments every single game. Irvin sees it, embraces it, and maybe, just maybe, even Rex does too, deep down. Though you'll never catch him admitting that on live TV. The best part about all this? Irvin didn't just defend Shedeur, he reminded the entire league what football truly is. Entertainment. It's supposed to make you feel something. If players can't bring a little flair, what's even the point? Without that spark, the game loses its soul. And Irvin, with his booming voice and unstoppable charisma, brought that truth right back to center stage. As the debate echoed online, one fact became undeniable. Rex Ryan might have kicked off the discussion, but Michael Irvin closed it, with style, with thunder, and with enough charisma to power the whole Dallas skyline. Meanwhile, Shedeur, he's probably somewhere grinning, plotting his next viral touchdown celebration while the world keeps arguing about what confidence really means. Because here's the real truth. Swagger isn't a problem, it's the product. It's what sells jerseys, fills seats, and keeps the highlight reel spinning. Irvin didn't just win that debate, he redefined what it means to defend the culture. The real game that day wasn't on the turf, it was in that studio, and Irvin walked away with the ultimate W. So now, the next time someone tells Shedeur Sanders to calm down, the internet already knows what to say. Tell it to Irvin, because when the playmaker steps in your corner, it's not just protection, it's prophecy. And that's the funniest twist of all. Rex Ryan wanted to preach about discipline, but instead, he handed Michael Irvin the mic for a masterclass in passion. What started as criticism ended as a celebration, because Irvin didn't just talk, he reminded the world why we love this game.